you all see my screen? Am I audible?
Yeah.
Yes, you're
Yeah.
audible.
Okay, so good evening, everyone. My name is Samuel Jegede, and briefly, I am a business analyst. I'm a business intelligence analyst, and I have experience in different sectors, spanning from financial institution to health to education to consultancy to technology. I'm getting some feedbacks. Getting some feedbacks. Uh, where is it coming from? Okay, okay, no problem. Um, okay, so let me just continue. So I'll be taking you on introduction to actually this is RDBMS, not basically SQL. RDBMS, and what is RDBMS? RDBMS simply means Relational Database Management System. Before I go deep into that, let me just tell you a brief about myself. So as I was saying, I'm a, I started my career in the insurance field, even though I studied microbiology. I studied microbiology back then in school. But along the line, I decided that, okay, based on, because I've always had this data knowledge, right? I've always been inclined in data. So I decided to further in my skill. So I enrolled for courses. I did some personal readings, and here I am today, a business analyst. I'm also a data analyst. So I do a lot of things. I do market research, financial models, benchmarking, business analysis. I train also. I train with Dahel Consult, and I'm a Microsoft certified trainer. I'm also a Microsoft certified data analyst. So I bring on board a lot of experience and a lot of skill. Yeah. So let's now go deep into what RDBMS is all about. Um, I saw that David was trying to walk you through Excel. Yeah. So I think you are not. Are you? Let me ask. If you want to rate yourself, are you under beginner or you call yourself intermediate? Can anybody just unmute and tell me? Will you call yourself beginner in data or intermediate?
Beginner.
Beginner, right? So you are a beginner, so I should go with you, having the mind that you know nothing about RDBMS. So okay, so I'll not be asking you questions then. I'll just be presenting. Okay, so what is no, this is not my slide. This is actually not my slide. Yeah, this is my slide. Can you see my slide here? Can you see my cursor?
No.
Okay. Let me just stop sharing my share. Okay. So can you see my cursor now? Can you see my screen now? Is it clear?
Yeah, we can.
Okay, you can see it. You can see it. So now let me just ask someone basically. Let me call names, and I want somebody that is actually in the that is on site. I want someone that is on site to just give me answers. Um, yeah, I can see a lady on black holding a book. Dahel Techies. Yeah, you're on black holding a book in front. Yeah. So where do you keep your clothes? Where do you keep your clothes? This gown, where did you pick it up this morning or this afternoon? This gown, this black gown that you're putting on.
My wardrobe.
Your wardrobe. So you keep your clothes in your wardrobe, right? Okay,
Yes.
good. And how is your wardrobe? Is it scattered or you have a section? Do you have sections for different things in your wardrobe?
Yes, I do.
Okay, so if you enter your room in a dark When okay, you're in Nigeria now, so there's no 12-hour light. To dress up at 8 p.m. There's no light, there is no generator, there is nothing. Can you pick up? Hello, can you still hear me? I said, can you pick
Yes,
up
you can.
a clothes? Can you wear your clothes even when there is no light? Can you put it on?
Yes, I can.
Okay, you can put it on even when there is no light. Yeah. So why? Why do you think you can pick up those clothes?
I
Why?
already know where it is.
Okay, you already know where it is. Okay, so now
Let me that side.
that is one. That is one. That is what. So I want to use that to say what a database is. So a database is actually a systematic arrangement of data sets, right, in a structured format, right? Where your data set is arranged in a structured format in somewhere, it's called what? A database, right? You store your data in a database. So now you should be able to know how to select particular tables in your database, right? You should be able to know to select those things, right? So you knowing how to select the database means that you can communicate to that database, right? You know what the database understand because you're already used to that database, right? So what is SQL? SQL is simply structured query language, and it is actually a language for you to be able to communicate to your database, to be able to get access to your data. Now, let me go back to the beginning. Let me start afresh. I think I'm still sharing my slide. Now, what is data? I'm sure you all know what data is. Who can tell me what the data is? What is data? Yeah. Should I call your name? You want me to call your name? Salome.
Data is simply collection of information.
What did you say?
Data is simply collection of information.
Okay, information. Any other person? Any other person?
They are raw facts.
Okay, raw facts. Yeah. Raw facts. Yeah, great. So any other thing? Does anybody have any other definition for data? Okay, so yeah, you're correct. But if you apart from facts, we deal with figures actually. We deal with facts, we deal with figures that are not processed, unprocessed facts and figures. That's just data. By the time you process it, it becomes information, right? So, and where do you keep data? You said what? Database, right? You keep your data in database. Great, your database. Where do you keep your money? Where do you keep your money? In the bank. How do you get access to that money? If you have 1 million in your account and you need 100,000, how do you access it? Okay.
The back app.
No, you want to collect cash now. Cash. You want to collect part of your money, cash.
It's either you go to the bank.
Okay.
ATM.
Okay, you go to the ATM. When you get to the ATM, the machine itself, what will you do?
I use
Input your card.
my card to access it.
Yeah, you input your card and you start pressing some things. First thing is to
Yeah.
ask you for your PIN. You
Yeah.
type it 1, 2, 3, 4. You ask you savings or current. You type it. If you ask you for another
Exactly.
thing, amount. What do you want to get? You type it. If you ask you for another thing, what other thing will he ask you? Okay, it will tell you that it is processing, right? After processing,
Yeah.
then you get your money. When you want to get
Exchange
data,
cash.
it's still the same sequence. When you want to get your data set from where you kept it, you kept your data set in a database. You need to communicate to it, but you need something to be able to communicate to it, right? You actually need something to be able to communicate to it, and that is what we call the database management system, right? database, before you can collect your money, you need ATM card. You need the ATM itself, automated teller machine. If there is no ATM, there is no way you can collect your money, right? So if there is no database management system, there is no way you could collect your data sets. I can tell you, go to the company database, get me a employee table and analyze it for me. How will you do it? Will you just, is it AI? Will you just talk to the machine and say, machine, my guy said I should ask for uh, employee table. Give it to me. No, you need to be able to understand the language. You know, it's not everybody that can use ATM, right? We have some people, they cannot use it. They will now tell those security men, please, can you come and help me? I don't know what to press. That's the same thing. It's not everybody that can communicate to the database. People that can communicate to databases are people that do what? Number one, you must have access to that database. And number two, you must what? You must understand the language. The language is English, but the way we write it is in line with English, but there are some syntax that you need to know. So that is what I'm breaking it down. I'm breaking it down for you. So now, this R that is in front, right? Why is it R? Why do we have to put R here? Right? RDMS. The R here is standing for what? Who knows this R? Who knows this R? Have I mentioned it today? Who?
Relational.
Yeah, relational. So why is it relational? Why is it relational? Why there are different type of database management system, right? So you can just go here, type of database management system. I'm sharing my full screen. Types of DBMS. Yeah. So can you see we have what? Object-oriented, hierarchical, NoSQL, network, cloud, ER, distributed, relational, right? Relational. So why is it relational? Why is it different from all others? Why do they say relational? Because it contains, number one, it contains structured data. Number two, there is relationship between one table and the other. Okay, let me break it down again. Yeah, we have different type of database management system. We have the object-oriented, we have the hierarchical, we have the NoSQL, we have the network, we have the distributed, and so on. In fact, there are more than this. But the most useful, the most important is this relational database, right? That is what you'll be using most of the time. Most of the time. Why? Because the data set you are collecting is structured. Number two, your data set is saved in a table. There are some data sets that you cannot save in tables. Who can give me examples? Who can give me example of data sets I cannot save in tables? Anybody? Any intermediate person? Anyone? Can you save all data sets in tables? When I say tables, what are tables? What are tables? Rows and columns, Abi? Right?
Yes, yes.
Okay. Tables are rows and columns. Can you save all data in tables?
No.
Okay, give me an example of a data that I cannot save. Okay, you know, but you don't know example. Can you save audio files, videos in tables? Which column? What's the column name?
No.
What's the exactly? Data set like pictures, video, sound, audio, like okay, like something like Spotify now. Spotify, you don't expect them to have tables as their, you don't expect them to have only relational database management system. Because if you want to call it a video or a music, how do you, is the music itself, is it saved in a table in tabular form? No, actually. So the type of database, audio mark, Boomplay, Spotify. We use. It's not. They might use parts. Parts might be relational, but majorly they will not use relational database because number one, only if I get that I know is not related to. Anyway, all of them are music, right? Everything are music, but there might not be relationship between those things, those tables, right? That's where the name relational comes in. Now, let's say I have a database for, I'm working in a bank. My name is Samuel Bank, Samuel Bank. I have in my database, I have the employee table, I have salary table, I have customer table, I have address table. Yeah, something like that. So now, between employee table and salary table, do you know there's a relationship? Who can tell me the relationship that can occur between the employee table? We have employee name, employee age, what other thing? Address, date of birth, phone number, right? Salary, we have, okay, don't let me mention what salary is. Who can tell me a simple relationship that exists between salary table and employee table? What kind of relationship can occur there?
The name.
Yes, the name. You can have employee name in employee table. You can also have employee name in salary table. So there's a relationship. And that takes us to what we call primary and secondary keys. That takes us to what we call primary and secondary keys. So I might not really go deep today because I don't know. I don't really think I have a full hour to actually explain or to actually write a syntax for you and explain what primary and secondary keys are. So simply, let me use Excel to explain this. I hope you can still see my screen. I hope you can still see my screen.
Yes.
Yes, we can.
Okay, so let me just quickly do an illustration and give you what primary and secondary can be. Let's say employee dot ID, first name, last name, DOB. Right? Here I have salary table. I have employee name. No, I have yeah, employee name. I have grade. I have gross salary. I have tax. And I have maybe pension or net. Let's just go to net. Yes. And maybe employee ID. No, I might not even have employee name. I might just have employee ID. I don't need to know the names. Names are not important. Okay. So now, okay, so we have this. We have these as column headers. Yeah. So let's say 1, 1, 2, 3 Q, 1, 4, 3 this. Hey, 1, 2, 3 E, 1, 2, 3 this. So something like this, and you have names. You have names. Right? You have names, right? And you have date of birth. You know, you might still have the same employee ID here, right? In fact, you can have it again, same employee ID. Let's say we have months. You have January. You have February. Right. We paid this employee January, February, and March. Right. Okay, so good. Now we have employee ID here. We also have employee ID here, right? So which one do you think will be called primary key? Which one is the secondary key? There is a relationship between employee table and what? And salary table. This is salary table now. In your salary, you have amount. Let's say you are collecting 2.5 million monthly. This one is collecting 340,000, right? Different salary grade like this, right? Now, this employee 123Q is also here. So which one will we now call primary key? Which one are we going to call secondary key? First thing to understand what primary keys are is there are keys that are any table that you find out that the keys are unique or does it have duplicates. Here now, the IDs here are not occurring in duplicate, right? So, and another thing is this is employee table. So employee ID is talking about the employees. So this is a primary key. We have employee ID in salary table, but it is not salary table that holds this ID. It is employee that holds the ID. So here it is what a secondary key here. Why? And another thing is when you are doing the relationship, especially sorry, you've not done Power BI. I want to start talking about modeling in Power BI now. When you do your one to many, many to many, you do something like in join, left join, full join in SQL. But I'm just trying to explain what primary keys and secondary keys are. I don't really have time, but by the time we start going deep into SQL, we understand this too. Let me just move on. But on this employee table, employee ID is a primary key. On this salary table, employee ID is what? Is a secondary key. Why? It is occurring in duplicates, right? This one is unique. It does not have duplicates. So here we can automatically say that this is what a primary key here. Yeah. So what are examples of RDBMS? I told you we have other database management system, the oriented, the object oriented. We have the we have the NoSQL database, and so on. So the one we'll be talking about is the Relational Database Management System. So what are examples of Relational Database Management System? Who can tell me examples of the one you've worked with? Examples: Salaudin, Wilfred. Do you know examples of Relational Database Management System? So now let me not distinguish between RDBMS and database, right? Okay. So in the ATM, you have your money in there, right? The money is inside the ATM, right? So the ATM, the whole money, the bulk of money is inside the ATM. You can only collect that money if you operate the ATM. Same thing. There is a database, right? But you can only gain access to that database through a management system, a database management system, right? There is Netflix, but you can only access Netflix through the TV. If you don't have a television or a phone or a smartphone, you cannot access Netflix, even though Netflix is there. So Netflix is like a database. The TV is like a system that you used to watch. Is that clear? Is that clear?
Yes.
Okay. So in a database management system, you can have up to like 15 databases inside. I'll show you one. I'll use PostgreSQL. I'll show you one. So in a management system, you can have up to like 15 or 20 databases. What are databases? They are structured in your house. You can have multiple wardrobe, right? Where you keep your clothes. You keep your clothes in a wardrobe, but that wardrobe can be multiple in your house. So the house itself is the management system, right? So before you can communicate to the database, you must have a management system, database management system. And examples of them are we have the PostgreSQL, we have the Microsoft SQL Server, we have the Oracle, we have the SQLite, we have the MySQL, we have MongoDB, Google BigQuery, lots, right? Snowflakes, IBM, yeah, IBM database. There are a lot. So now, the SQL itself, which is a language that you type, which is when you are typing on ATM, you need to type your PIN correctly. If your PIN is 1234 and you type 4321, phew, nothing will come out. No money will come out. So that's why you need to learn what we call a language called SQL. And it's very simple, very, very simple. Very, very simple, right? So that is the main reason for SQL. You need to communicate with the ATM machine, which is the RDBMS that I've mentioned. Examples are PostgreSQL, Microsoft SQL Server, Oracle, MySQL, and the rest. Now, what is a schema? So when you enter an organization and they tell you that you are now the new database, first thing you need to understand is the schema. Schema is just like a skeletal framework to tell you what are the data sets that are inside this database, this company database. In fact, what are the databases that are there? What are the data sets? What's the relationship? What's the data type? Is it text that is there? Is it integer? What comprises of the old data set? Let me show you an example of a schema. There are two types of schema. We have the star schema. In fact, we have more than two anyway. But the general one, we have the star schema and the snowflake schema. Let me just show you a picture of a schema. So this is what the schema looks like. Yeah, something like this. Yeah, something like this. Let me make it. I don't know if you can see it. Yeah, something like this is a schema. So now this is just telling you that there are multiple tables here. We have the user table, right? We have the user group, we have the user property, we have user format groups. We have so many tables here. But what are the items that are inside the table? Can you see that we have username? What type of data type is the username? It's telling us that it's what variable character, right? Username can be what variable character. What is the meaning of variable character? It can be either text, either string or integer, right? It's variable. Your username can be Samuel123, right? So that is what a schema is telling you. It's telling you all the information that are present in each database or each tables. So you need to really understand what the schema is. And if you don't know the schema, how will you now get data? So let's say I want to know the email of a particular user. I must know that the column that has the email is on this user table. Before I go on, does anybody have any questions so far? I think I'm just eating auto run. Let me just pause a bit. Ask me questions. What have you gained so far? What do you want to know? Which part is not clear before I move on? Does anybody want to talk to me? Please talk. Or if you don't have any question, tell me, okay, yeah, you're enjoying me. then I can move on. I can't hear
Yeah,
you.
we're doing it, sir.
Okay, you're enjoying me. Anyway, I want a female voice. So it's only the guys that I enjoy. I'm not hearing any female voice.
Okay, Sam, can you hear us?
Yes, I can hear you now.
Okay, you talk of type of database and
Yes.
Relational database. Is that where our focus is going to center on? Other aspects of database, are we still going to work on them? And you just throw more and cite examples. Thank you.
I can't really hear you. Can you please come again?
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yes. You were saying types of databases, right?
Yes, you say you are going to
Okay.
focus on relational database and the other kind of database. So I'm not asking, can you cite examples of other type of database, or is it only the relational database you are going to focus on?
Okay, I think I mentioned a lot of databases now. It's not only okay. Which one did I mention? Which database did I mention for you? Relational. Okay,
Yes.
so I did not tell you relational database. I said relational database management system, right? And I said there are a lot of database management system. I've mentioned it in earlier, and I showed you. I think I showed you. I showed you object-oriented database
Hierarchical.
management system, NoSQL, hierarchical, network databases, distributed databases, ER, cloud, and a lot more, right? Multimodal. This MySQL is under relational. Please don't get it wrong. PostgreSQL is under relational. Oracle is under relational. So this is just SQLite is under relational, right? So that's just it. So, but when you are talking about databases itself, there's a difference between database. That's why I was using things that you can understand. There's a difference between database and database management system. Database is like the money that is inside an ATM. Database management system is the ATM that you use, that you write SQL on. You write SQL on management system. You don't write SQL on your money. You write SQL on the ATM. And ATM will what? Bring your money out for you. Same thing. Database management system is the system itself that you can use to communicate to the database. Is that clear? So these are examples of database management system, like examples of ATMs. We have First Bank ATM, we have Union Bank ATM, we have it's the same, right? But we have different management system. You can keep the same database you keep on MySQL, also on PostgreSQL, also on Microsoft SQL Server, the same data, but you are keeping it on a different management system. Is that clear now? Do you understand it now?
Yes.
Okay, good, good. I thank you for that question. I think you just let us be on track.
I have
Okay,
a question.
so I've told you schemas and cognitive framework. Is there any question?
Yes, sir, I have a question.
Okay, please go on.
Good afternoon, Mr. Samuel. My question is on
Yeah, good afternoon.
schemas. I want to really understand. Is it that schemas is like maybe a catalog or a documentation of what is inside the database?
Exactly. Schema will tell you what is inside the database. It will tell you the number of tables, the name of table, the column inside the table. Right? It will tell you the columns that are present in the table. It will tell you the data type. You know, the other time I was telling you variable character. This column that is your first name. First name is what? String. Your phone number. I don't know how it's going to see phone number. your age is what? Integer. You cannot be 18 point, you cannot be 18, you cannot write 18 EIGHTEEN inside that column. It can only contain whole number. Either you write 2, 3, 4. So that is what the schema will tell you. Before you start writing the SQL, select statement. SQL is about anyway, data manipulating language. Yeah, when you want to manipulate, it's not manipulate, when you want to communicate. I call it communicates with the data set. So actually, officially, they call it data manipulating language. So DML. But no, I don't like using the word manipulating, especially when you are talking with people that are not data inclined. Imagine you are talking to your CEO and you are telling him you are manipulating data. You want them to sack you. You see, like, you are manipulating my data. So that's just so I call it when I'm talking with people that are not data inclined, I say, okay, when I'm communicating with the data, right? Or data extracting, when I'm extracting the data, basically. So you write your select statement, select this one from this one. We'll still go deep into what the select statement is all about, but I'm just looking at time anyway. So let's go on. Let's proceed. Let's proceed. Yeah, so I said schemas are cognitive framework or concept that helps organize and interpret information. What are the types of schema? So we have the star schema. Star schema is telling you that you have a facts table surrounded by dimensions, other dimensions table. Let me just type it on Google for you. What is that? Star schema. What are star schemas? Okay, I said to have what? What do you mean by star schema? Okay. Okay, they are not trying to explain this. Okay, so this is it. Can you see? It has a single large fact table, right? So that's just the star. It's just that there is one in the middle, but it has branches, right? Other dimension tables. That is just what the star schema is. Okay, you can see a start schema for use. That uses a what? A single large fact table and one or more smaller what? Dimensional table. That's the same thing I said, right? You have a fact table in the middle surrounded by dimension table. And when you're talking of snowflake schema, you can have multiple fact tables that are related. Let me just show you a picture of what a star schema looks like. This is a star schema. Can you see? Let me show you this. Yeah. Can you see? This is a fact schema, reseller sales. But then it is related to all this. All right. It's related to everything. How? Is feeding dates. Dates is getting dates from where? From dim dates. Right? Is getting sales territory from where? From dim sale territory. Is getting products. Where's products here now? Products, right? From where? Dim products. Is getting employee details from where? Dim employee. And it's getting reseller from where? This. So it's feeding. There are a lot of dimensions feeding this fact, right? So all these dimensions are primary key, right? This key here, sales strategy is a primary key. It should be unique here. But once it comes here, it might not be unique, right? All these keys here, they are secondary key here, right? So that's just what the star schema is. And let's see the other one. Snowflake. Snowflake schema. Yeah, you can see snowflake schema. There is no particular facts, right? It's a multi-dimensional kind of data, right? It's a multi-dimensional kind of data. So it's not looking like star. It's not one feeding all, right? Are you clear with that?
Yes, sir.
Okay, good. So what can SQL do? So I told you what SQL is. SQL is what? Structured query language. Structured. You like the lady that said, she said she arranged her clothes in a way that even if there is no lines, she can pick shorts, she can pick trouser, suits, and everything all together, right? And she can dress her for a dinner, right? The same thing. Before, your data set should be arranged in a very good way so that by the time you come in to your environment, to your RDBMS, you can say select customer name, select customer name from customer table. That's a simple syntax. That's how we write SQL. I want it to just bring out the column name of that, because all the names of, let's say I want to know all the names of my customers, and all the names of my customers, because I've checked the schema, I know that customer name is under customer table. Customer name column is in customer table. I already know because I've checked my schema. So I'll just go to my RDBMS, example, PostgreSQL or Microsoft SQL. I'll just go there. I'll now type select customer name from customer table. Once I press hit run, it will just give me all the names of my customer, and I can export it and show my manager that these are all the names of our customer. Is that clear? That's simple SQL. I'll write it for you. I'm not lying. That's how to write it. I'm not lying. There's no lie. That's how I'll write it for you now with PostgreSQL. Or so what can SQL do? SQL can there is data, start record, database, create new tables, create stored procedures. All this will go through. If I have another time to go through this with you, definitely will do this. So as I was saying, this is this data definition is data manipulating that I was telling you earlier, which mostly you use your select statement for. DCL, that's the data control language, and we have the transactional control language. So you have 4 sub languages in SQL. Right? Everything is still syntax. Just know the syntax, and I'll write one simple. It's English language, and you'll be fine. Right? Very simple and very easy to understand. So let me now show you one. Before I tell you to download, which one should we download today? Should we download Postgre? Postgre is just that. Usually Postgre is. I want all of you. Do you have access to download? Do you have access to internet over there? Do you want to download today? David, do you want them to download today, or I should just show them a simple syntax?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I'm just hearing you now.
What do you guys want? Okay, so yeah.
Should they download and install, or I should just tell them what it looks like, and maybe next class, we download and we write some syntax? I can't hear anybody here.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I'm just hearing you now. What did you say?
I'm going to type it in the comment section.
Okay, good. Okay, great. Okay, I'll list the steps once I'm done with this. So I'll give you the steps to download, and yeah, I have everything. I know everything offhand. I've downloaded this PG admin more than. Okay, great. 5 minutes. Okay. So let me just show you a simple syntax for you to get information from your database management system. How do I still remember my password? Okay, so do I have any database here? Okay, I think I have one. So this is a relational database management system, RDBMS, right? Which is called PG admin, Postgre admin. Okay, so this Postgres query tool. So now, okay, let me close this. So now this is where I want to write my query. Yeah. Let me look for a table. Let me look for a table here. Where do I have tables? Have table here. Okay. Have tables. Yeah, I have actor. What do I have inside actor? So this is more like a schema. So this is the information in the schema. So what? Let me see the columns I have. Okay, so let's say I need the first name and last name of all my actors, right? I need the first name and last name of all my actors. As I've said, what did I tell you? I said I'll just write simple English language. I'll write select. What do I need? I need what? First name, the way it is written here, comma. I also need what? Last name. From which table? From actor, actor table. That's all. And I click what? Run. Where's my run here? Okay, my run is here. Bam. Can you see that I have the first name and last name of all the actors in this database? All the actors in this. That's the only thing I need. Once I'm done with that, I can do what? I can export, right? And come here. And come here. Where's this thing? Okay, yeah. Yeah, so I'll just come here to export it and call it what? Actor names, right? And I save. And when I want to send it to my boss, let me first view it before I send. Let me view what I downloaded. Can you see all the actor words, all the actor names, first name and last name? Can you see all of them? Penelope Guinness. So it's just so simple like this, like this. No, there are some things you will need that it will not be as simple as this, right? Let's say I just need just 5 actors. I need just 5 actors. I can just say limit 5, right? Just say limit 5, and I run it, and I do this. Can you see that it's showing me just 5 actors? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? I'm limiting it to 5. So that is very, very easy, simple, and just broad like this. That's how we get data from databases. This PG admin, also called PostgreSQL, right? PostgreAdmin, right? So are we good?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so next as we might go deeper. So now, um how do you download PostgreSQL? So just go to Google, open Google like this, right? Just type PostgreSQL.
Please take down this.
Download. Once you click on PostgreSQL down, this one that's relevant, right? That's the one you download. Because your system is Windows, some are using Mac OS. If you are using Mac, click on Mac. If you are using Linux, click on Linux. If you are using Windows, click on Windows. You click on Windows. After clicking on Windows, you go to download the installer here. You can see one orange here, download the installer. Once you click on download the installer, it will bring you to this page. Then you have to download the updated one. Because I'm using Windows, I can always download this updated. This 16.1 is the latest. If you're using Windows 2, you have to download 10.23. Or if you are using Windows 64, you can download the latest one. That's just it. So once you download, you follow the procedure. Next, it will ask you for password. Please don't forget that password because you can remember I typed one password when I was accessing it. So any password you use while installing, don't forget it. That's the same password you use when you log in. So let me just type it on the chat box now. So I think I can round up my class. Is there any question? I'll type now. I'll type the steps now. Do we have any question?
I'm having a question, but it's on that PostgreSQL. Maybe on our next class. Or can I ask now?
Ask me.
Um, how can we form, like, we want to extract numbers of first name in our table? Like, we don't want the name itself. Just want, like, I want to know how many numbers that we are having. Like, how
Yeah, so
many?
it's just that's the only thing I will do actually. Let me now do it. I'll just say select. Let me just do it like this. Select counts. I want to know how many are there, right? From actor, right? So let's do this. 200. Great. Can you see the answer? The total number of actors we have in the table. Can you see? 200. So don't ask me any further question because it's as if you want to know everything about SQL today. So there will also be another session where I will go deep into SQL. So let me just, is that the only question? Can I move on? Oh, thank you very much. Somebody helped me already. Oh, David, thank you very much for helping me with that. Okay, yeah. So do we have any other question before we call it a day? Okay, yeah, go ahead.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Shalom. My question is on this. Hello.
Yes, I can hear.
The first command you gave in this SQL, you said select first name select first underscore name and the rest of that. So the second one you said limit 5. Now, is the command working based on the first instruction, or is it possible to only limit 5 before even any other thing? Is it possible?
No, you can't. If you notice, when I wanted to run it, I selected everything together. You cannot just type limit 5. What are you limiting 5 for? So you are telling, if you had limit 5, you are telling that I want to see only 5. After you've run this, just give me only 5. But you cannot just type limit 5. It show you error. Error. So you can see me highlighting all and clicking run limit 5. If I don't put the limit 5, it will show me everything. Let me run only this first line. Right? It will show me everything. Can you see everything? The 200 actors that I have. Right, all the 200 actors. Can you see maximum of 200? So the limit 5 is just continuation to this. You can also as well add it somewhere here. It's not so there's something called indentation. How to write? You can't just write things like this. In fact, the way I wrote it initially is meant to be like this. You are meant to do this. Right. This is how it's meant to be. Right. This is actually how I'm meant to write it. So there's a way we write things. Yeah. So you know that I've used select statements, I've used from syntax, and I've used what? Limits. So something like this. This is how we write it. Right. So so that you can see all your syntaxes at once. Select, from, and limit. Right. So this is how we write it. So is that clear?
Yeah.
Okay. Any other question?
Yes, I have.
I can hear you.
Okay. Please, can you use another example on this SQL?
Another example. Still here.
Yes.
Okay, let me use another table. Payments. Or customer. This is a customer table. What do we have in customer? Okay. So let me just say select first name, comma, and email. Right? From customer. Because customer is the table name. Right? And I can do this. So let me do this. First name, email from customer. Right? I want to know the first name and the email of all my customers. I'll just run this. Can you see? Jared, this is the email of Jared. Jared and Sakina. Mary is the email. That's fine. I don't want to go into the complex ones. These are just the basic ones, actually. I don't want to go into the complex ones because today's introduction, actually. Are you okay?
Yes.
Am I clear? Okay, yeah, good. So can we call it a day? David, thank you very much. And I hope to have another session, hopefully, if there is still time to go through. So another thing, if you want to learn SQL, there's something called what's the name of this? I forgot now. I remember just now. I forgot. Where you can learn SQL. Okay, I'm on your group. Once I remember now, I'll just type it on the group. That's SQL made easy. But without that, I'm always here to answer all your questions, to always guide you on how you can be best in terms of relational database and using SQL itself. Okay, one last person and we call it a day.
Do you have any task for the week?
Do I have any what?
Task.
Task for you?
Yes.
Oh, because I've not really taught you the key, I've not really taught you the basics. And even if I give you task, you won't be able to do it because you've not downloaded. I've not walked you through the downloading and installing. So hopefully I will have another session, maybe 15-20 minutes to walk you through installing, how to restore your database. I have to send you a database to be able to answer my task. I'll work out something. I might just send you a recorded video. So I might just do a 30 minutes on how to restore the database, and I'll send you a task after. Is that fine? Should I do a 30-minute video and share it?
Yeah.
Okay, that's fine.
Yes.
I'll do that during the weekend or the next Monday. I'll share that with you, how to download, install, and restore the database so that you can start typing this select statement. All right, thank you, everybody. Thank you for the time, David. And this is where we draw the curtain. Thank you.
Right. Thank you. Thank you. You are clapping, you clap. I think you are clapping. I guess we'll keep in touch, right? I will have a chat with you much later on. And just to add before we close this chapter, sometimes when we say SQL Server, a lot of data analysts really get to use SQL Server a lot compared to Python. I mean, I know some of my colleagues don't even get to use Python as much as they use SQL Server. So if you are here, you want to, your plan is to become a very good data analyst. You must fall in love with either of these languages. SQL Server, come from the left, followed by Python programming. Or the two of them as the name implies. You have to learn how to use the tools that really help you to analyze data. And I think to contextually bring the lesson for RDMS and forward to like PostGre that we talked about, think about it this way. You run a spare parts shop. So in your shop, there is a section for tires, right? Your shop, there's a section for what else?
Wheels.
Yeah, in your shop, there's a section for windscreen. Yeah, right. So those windscreens, those wheels, consider all of them to be like tables, right? Because for each of the wheels and windscreens, there are sections. The tables will contain what is the size of the wheel, right? What is the amount? What is the person that is selling the wheel? Like the manager or the salesperson attached to selling a particular wheel. And then where did you import the wheel from? You can think about any type of detail that you have attached to that person. As human beings, we are moving around like tables. I don't say maybe you go to a conference table, but look at yourself as moving at a moving table. You have your hair, you have your nails, you have every of these things. There's a connection between your neck and your head. So that neck with your head is that relational database. But if you cut it off, there's no relationship between your head and the rest of your body. It's the same thing. If you go to a spare part shop, there's a relationship between the owner of the shop and waiting there inside the shop. So the owner can own even much more other shops, other businesses. We have Dahel Techies, like we're working on something now. Dahel fashion, manufacturing, Dahel whatever, this. But again, there's a relationship between all of those. Now, if you are a data analyst working for a company like Dahel, and then you are requested to call out a particular table or a particular product from company A or branch A located somewhere. Imagine a data analyst working with CBN. They want to either shut down a particular bank or give license to another bank to start operation in a certain branch. The data analyst will sit down and first and foremost look at the indicators, look at the variables. Who are those that we are going to hire? How have this branch performed? They can call out your customer or clients or whatever, and they will know how many people are depositing money in your branch, how many people you are giving loans to. So if you go to a bank now and they say they can't give you loans, it's because when you submitted your bank account, they have used this programming language to call out all your details. They will search your BVN to know whether you don't borrow from one other bank. You get? Do you understand me?
Yes.
So all the processes that contains or involves manipulating data and actually mastering it, that is why all of you are here. Abi?
Yes.
You now want job offer. You are here to learn how to manipulate those things. So that if you work in some of these top companies and then you see an opportunity to belong to their data team, you can be rest assured that you should be able to know how to use these tools to pull out data. Right? Most of the time it will be ID, BVN, name, all of those things. It's so unfortunate that if I lost now for this country, some of you will not you will not even know. You will not be able to track me, right? Or you thumb printing. There's a way you go somewhere, and if you are a criminal, your thumb print as you are dropping it, there is alarm blowing somewhere where they are looking for you. They will just know your location instantly, right? Because they have attached. There is a table attaching your face to your eyelids, to your nose, to your everything. There's a big table about you stored in one database somewhere. So if you go to the States, for those of you that have traveled within and outside the country, this works even very perfectly. Like I told you stories of when Nigerians are traveling, not just Nigerians, maybe other countries, the way they will search your documents, collect your passport, see your passport number, insert it. As they are inserting it, the guys behind, they are tracing where you have been for the past 5 years, where you were in the past. They can ban you if you broke one for instance, I know the US pretty well. You are 6 months, come as a visitor and go, but some of them will dey go carry belle and no wan go again. So finally, let's say you assume, okay, you are tired, you just want to go for holiday, you want to go and see your mother and come back. But let's say you don't break law, you go, nobody will tell you don't go, you go. But when you are coming back, that port of entry, they will look at your history. Even if you were there in the US for like 10 years and you think nobody knew, you know, just one or two codes, everything, your face, your thumbprint, everything is out. They say, ah, guy be like you come before, you break law, you remain. You say, no, belle come, I just carry. So you are back. Before you know it, they have reported you, or you look for another place and go. So data is very, very important. I hope this makes you fall in love with the whole relationship thing that we talked about today, so that when you find yourself in some of these places and then you see how data is valued and manipulated, it makes a whole lot of sense to you. We'll continue. Hopefully, I think we should be running up our Microsoft Excel classes on Thursday. I hope so because we have like data modeling and cleaning classes. Let me show you. This is another. For instance, if you look at these data sets, can you see? Remember, some banks will send you happy birthday. It's not that there is one guy that is waiting for you when it's your birthday. They will send message. To me and you, we never blow like that. But the data is just what they need. The fact that you submitted your date of birth properly, all those of you that could say you were born in 1980, 1901. Now you can use the formula. All I need is when were you born, which month and which year, and I'll tell you how old you are. I don't need to be good with maths. Just insert the formula, find it. So we are going to be doing all those things as you see on the screen, and then looking at how can you substitute when you are given something. Your manager comes, tells you, okay, we made a mistake. It's not quarter one 2020. Let's substitute it with 2021. And you have over 100, 100 values. You can't be deleting 100 values over and over again. You can go there and make a whole lot of mistakes. So I'm going to be looking at that hopefully so that we can. I need you guys to be so good with Excel so that learning other programming languages becomes so important. But again, before you go, there's an assessment today. So write this down. On Thursday, we are going to be looking at it. So we treated drop downs, right? Let me share my screen so that those who are online can see what I'm doing. So Samuel. Stop sharing. Mr. Sam? All right. We've already treated how to do drop downs, right? What else have we treated charts? Yes, we have treated charts. So please take a picture of this quickly. And then in your Excel on your laptop, please just quickly quickly type this thing. Quickly type what is on the board now. Because I want us to do something before we want to practice something. Quickly type this. So I remember somebody was asking a question, how can we do the reverse of what we did before, right? Remember when we were doing splits, we had all the names together. So this is so you remember when we treated this, right? Yes, splits. All we needed to do was to put the first name here, last name and company name. Okay? Now what I want to show you now is the reverse of this. You already have first name, last name, and company name. How do you now put them together? Okay? So that is what split talks about basically, or joins, really. So for joins, who knows the formula for this? Those of you that are experts. How do we combine? You know, you say last name, comma, first name. That means put them together. Last name, where is the last name here? Jesse, right? Comma, then first name is what? David. So you should have Jesse, comma, David. And then full name, what is full name? Full name is what? David Jesse. So who want to try? Want to try? Okay. Everybody don't fight. Look up, please. Let's do this quickly. So we have something that's called, yeah. You want to try?
I think we would go to this last name table. We'll click. So are you hearing me?
I'm hearing you, yeah.
Okay, we'll go to this last name table. We'll click. I mean for this Jesse.
Click what?
This Jesse.
Jesse. The last name table.
This one?
No, this Jesse. Jesse.
Click
We'll
on
click the Jesse. Yes.
Alright.
Then we'll say plus David.
Okay, Jesse plus. Is that what it
No,
means?
no, 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 no. Like we would click on it. It will show this formula bar.
No. We can't click on anything on the data that we want to concatenate. I mean, that's the word. Concatenate. Please spell it so that you can concat. You can research about it. Concatenate is like putting things together. Right? Concatenate, you join. Huh? No, those are lookup values. VLOOKUP, HLOOKUP, XLOOKUP, those are all lookup values. Yeah, that is on Thursday, hopefully. So, ampersand is another one. When you hear ampersand, this is that and. Have you seen this symbol before? Yeah. That is the ampersand, right? So we want to do equals to concat. What does it say really? It says it concatenates a list or range of a text string. So bracket open is asking you for text number 1, comma, and so on. So text number 1 here will be what? Jesse, isn't it? Comma, followed by what? First name, David, bracket close, and then you hit enter. But you see that it is together. Do you remember when I told you guys that in Microsoft Excel, as in Word, every single character is a valid variable? Do you remember?
Yes.
Your full stop, your plus, your comma, and all of that. So if you want to see space and comma in whatever you are doing, you have to go back to that formula. In between the B6, comma, and A6, you have to insert a comma and a space, correct? How do we do that? Go over there. And what did I say if you want to insert a new variable or a new character? So that Excel will understand it. Say something. Put it in quotes. Go. This guy. So we're going to put a comma in quotes, right? And then put a space. Let's see if this will work. You hit enter. It didn't work. So who can tell me why it did not work?
There is not supposed to be a comma in that code. It's supposed to just be an empty code.
There's not supposed to be a comma.
It's just an empty code. Like a code with a space. Not a comma.
Huh?
A code with a space, no comma.
With a space, no comma. Okay. If I hit enter, it's showing that there's a problem. So that's not the issue. Who can tell me what the issue is?
Can you remove that comma after the basics?
Where?
Oh, no.
All right. Let me do this. Can you see it works? I told you guys, right? When you insert a comma, it is considered to be a character. The same way you put comma when you selected Jesse. When you selected Jesse, you put comma, isn't it? That's the same way you put comma as a character and then put comma so that Excel will understand that comma to be a character that you want to see. Okay. I think they sound French for now. Let's start again. Equals to concat, bracket open. Concat, like I said, brings things together, right? What do we want to bring together? Last name, comma. We want it to appear like this. Last name, comma, and then first name, isn't it? Good. So we have equals to concat, bracket open. What is our last name? Jesse. So simple, don't type Jesse. Choose the cell where Jesse belongs. So you click on it. And after that, what is the formula telling you? That after text 1, there is a what? A comma. Isn't it? So you put a comma. But because after this comma, right? After this comma, there is a space. But don't forget that that comma is also a character, like Jesse. Do you understand now? That comma is what? Also a character like Jesse. And you want to see If I come over here and say David, all right, bracket close, enter. You see there is no space and there is no comma. So we can't even say that JC is a last name and David is the first name. Do you understand now?
Yes.
So when we go back, we say equals to concat, bracket open, JC, comma, right? Now, because comma is not part of the original, you can't see text 1, comma, then they put comma and put text 2. They simply say text 1, comma, text 2, and so on are infinitive. But because we want this comma here to show in our text, we have to treat that comma as a variable. I mean,
Yes.
we need to treat it as a human being. You understand what I mean? So you now put them in double quotes. You put your comma, you close the quotes. Remember, after your text 1, there was a comma. Because you are treating this as a text, you need to now insert what? A comma. Immediately I inserted a comma, you see, it brought out text 3. That means that Excel has understood that my comma is what? Text 2. Again, don't forget, after the comma, here, last name comma, there is a space before first name. Abi, that is how we write. You write, you put comma, a space before the other one. Now we have to treat that space as a word, character. And then how do we treat it as a character? Do you do what? Hit your space or not? Because after when you put the comma, there's already a space. So bracket, double quotes, then you hit your space button, boop, and then another quote, and then you put your comma. Watch and see. Text 4 is going to appear. Do you see that? So it has acknowledged that space to be a text. When you are done, you now come over here and click on David. And when we are done, you bracket close, and then you hit enter. So clear? You just drag down. Remember our field function, and then all of those things will populate. So now we have last name and first name. Your assignment is to do full name, meaning first name first and then last name. And because I need you guys to learn how to research, also go and you ask yourself, how can I use this formula? This is concatenate, which is what we just solved. The second formula is what? Ampersand formula. Do it, submit it between now and your next class. And with that,
Concatenate.
wait.
Your model, I think, is longer. Concatenate. Is there any other? Is there any other small? It's a bit confusing for the first time to.
Concatenate is a full language. It's a full. You can just type concat, which is what I did here. If you look at it, it's concat. You don't need to type concat.
I mean, the symbols here, the commands will give you concat.
This is very important. It's a bit not confusing in a sense, but this explains the laws of concatenation properly. Because if you want to go and if I started teaching you guys ampersand, which is the shorter way, all I need to do is insert my ampersand function before and after the value I want to concat. But you will not understand why there is a double quote and why the comma should be treated the way it should be treated. Okay. And there are other places where
concat that process again. What I'm saying is so that everybody have the same understanding.
All right. So I will repeat it without saying a single word. Hallelujah.
Have said single word? It's the one that makes you understand.
Let's go. Equals to concat, isn't it?
Yes.
Bracket open. You choose your last name. What is next after that? Comma. What is next? No? Double quote. And you put what? Comma. Double quote.
So why do you make
and after that, I had explained this.
Treated as a character.
I had explained this in my first class.
There is just space between that first comma and that double.
Is there what?
Space.
Yes.
There's no space. There's no space.
Double quote again.
If you put a space before the comma, you will see last name, space, and comma. Right? So, comma, what else? Double quote again. Then the space, double quotes, and what? What is next?
Comma.
Comma. And then finally, and then double close brackets, and then you hit enter. Is it clear?
Yes. Is there any difference between the usage of the double quote and single quote?
Okay, let me answer you by just removing the double quote and put single quote. Let's see if it will work. Right? Then I hit enter. I hit it. Do you know why human beings wear shoes? Do you know why human beings wear shoes? Or do you know why human beings breathe or eat? Now there's a lot of things that this is how it's programmed. In Excel, you have to use the double quotes when you want to insert a foreign character into a formula. In the DAX expressions in Power BI, sometimes it's double quotes, sometimes it's single quotes. Just how it's programmed, right? Your eyeglasses, your skull, your beer, and your ears, that is how it's programmed. If you don't want yourself to appear like you go for surgery and change the programming. You can take your nose to the back, take your ear somewhere else. Or that's just how it's programmed. All right, I think we've ended the class today, and you understand the assessment, right?
Yes, sir.
Right, so please, just relax. Relax. I know they wait for you somewhere. Wait. Please, the list of those that wrote their names for laptop.
Just shut down.
Yeah, quickly, shut down.
Shut down and hand over.
Sir,
Just
All right, so I want to thank those that joined us online. I think I will end this call here, except you have any questions. And I'll be happy to respond to it. There are 3 laptops, right?
Yes, sir. They dropped a message for you.
Okay. Thank you. And see you guys on Thursday by 2 p.m. on Thursday, right? We'll continue with the Excel class. Hopefully finish it up.
Yes, I will drop a message for you.